All right. Peace, blessings, shalom, shalom. Hope all is well out there, and wherever you may be, highways, byways, home time, chilling with the family, or whatnot. I pray that everything is going well with y'all out there. Just had a couple people mention and asking me, do I think nowadays in these times is it worth being an owner operator? And I had to think back when I was an owner operator, maybe about 15 years ago, maybe a little longer, compared to being an owner operator now. I also was in a couple of lease purchase programs, and I will elaborate on that briefly. But I had to really think about and talk to a couple of fellow truck drivers that I know that are owner operators, and the conclusion I came up with is no, it's not worth it. But I have those that maybe push back on that and say it is worth it. Now, there are two different perspectives on how you may look at it. One, depending on your needs, or should I say your wants, both in the same category. Depending on your bills, if you have if you are high maintenance, if you are living beyond your means, and you have a job in which after fuel and everything's taken out, your IFTA, your plates, your fuel, maintenance, escrow, if you're in escrow with a company or whatnot, something goes wrong, with your truck or trailer, blowouts, anything of that nature, depends on what you may bring home, depending on the loads out here, depending on what you're hauling out here as well. Just say the minimum, because I can go on and on amounts with that. Let's say the minimum that you bring home is 2,000, 3,000. Say 3,000 a week. The minimum 3,000 a week. Now you may ask, well, how did you come up with that number? I'm looking at the numbers on different outfits and whatnot, in which you may haul. You may haul reefer, flatbed, tanker, oversized, dump trailers, anything along them lines. So it depends on one of the outfits, military loads, things of that nature, and which is going to determine your pay. It's going to determine if you're getting the percentage, mileage, is it a flat rate, hourly, or whatnot? Because because these things, it depends on your pay, how many miles you run, how much is the overall load is worth, was it's paying, depending on your percentage, so all of these things is a factor. So I'm just, instead of me breaking it all down, there's other channels out here that may break this stuff down, but if you want something more specific, then leave it in the comment, and I wouldn't mind answering it, but right now I just want to just touch on as far as why I think right now that being an owner operator is not a good place at the moment. Now, a few factors how I came up with this conclusion. The parts in which an owner operator will have to pay for is outrageous. Now, I started driving in 99. Okay, 99. So I have 25 years in, or coming up with 25 years, one of the two. So, the parts is crazy. The parts coming from other countries, and they no longer are here in the United States. For those who watching this video, that's the United States, they know that. But those who in other countries, you know, is watching this and they don't know, but I'm here in the US, and the parts when I was driving, you know, you can get them anywhere, everywhere, you know, basically the same day. Now they got to order the parts, got to come from another country, you know, and the truck owner operator will be out sitting down for a minute, bills are still accumulating, and then whatever shops ain't gonna get you in there for about 3 weeks or a month, depending on what's going on with your truck. And by you being an owner operator, you only have one truck that you're working with. Now, if you have the means and capabilities of going and get a loaner truck, you know, going to one of these Penske's or Ryder, stuff like that, and able to get a truck, then hey, you win. But look what you're paying for that. You're paying for mileage for the trailer, you're paying mileage for the tractor. Oh man, I can go on, and that can be very expensive. On top of that, you have a monthly payment, you know, and it may be about $2,000 a month for the whole unit, or a week. I don't know. I haven't went down that road, but those who know, you know. So that's one reason on the mechanical issue. You know, the freight. A lot of these brokers now are trying to get you to take loads for almost less than $1.50. Definitely almost less than $2. And you may need about $2.50, $2.25 for, you know, that you need in order to benefit anything after said and done, you know, all your expenses, you know. So that's something else that a person have to calculate. You know, blown tires, you know, which can get you up and running, but that's going to be $300 for a service call. Then it's going to be another $500 probably for, depending on which tire that you blow. You know, you blow a steer tire, it's gonna have to be brand new. If you ain't carrying a used tire underneath the trailer, you know, for your other axles, you know, your steer and your rears, you know, and then, you know, you have to carry 2 tires on top of that. But either way it go, it's gonna be downtime that you have to take. Then if you're on this ELD log, you know, then that's time cutting into your overall your shift time or your drive time, you know. And then, you know, there's companies out here, there's people out here that's taking these loads for the low. They're taking them for the low, you know. And then there's insurance. The insurance is cracking these owner operators' heads. When you with a company, you don't have to worry about no insurance. They're paying for the insurance. You know, your IFTA sticker and stuff. You know, getting your MC number DOT, you know, unless you're running on someone else's authority. You know, that's coming out your pocket. You know, you got to pay the broker. You got to, you know, then you have the shipper, you know, or whoever dispatching you. You know, you're gonna have to give them a percentage on top of it, between 10 to 15, 20%, depending on who you up under, who's dispatching you. You know, then you're gonna have to pay the factoring company if you wanted your money within the day, that same day. If you know, other than that, you have to wait for about a month or so in order to get your money. So that's more expenses come out your pocket. Not even including your home expensive. You know, you got a mortgage, you got car note, you got child care expensive, you got groceries. If you're not growing your own groceries in your backyard or whatnot, then you're trying to be, you know, a little bit organic. So you may have to go to the farmer's market to get your stuff. So the grocery bill may be about $700-800 a week on that. Car note. If you're trying to live fancy, car note. You know, if you got a big house, you know, if you know, so if you it could rack up. You may be spending about $5,000, $6,000 a month easily in expenses. Then what about your savings? Now, if you got a 401k that you eating off of, if you have a retirement, you know, plan or money that you're eating off of, if you have some savings, period, you know, then you may get by. You may get by. But the thing is, then you have restrictions on how, even on your ELD, even on your loose lease, you have hours and restrictions on how long that you can drive. So depending on how many hours you have left to drive determines on your next load. You know what I mean? On where you're gonna pick it up at, how much time you have to get there to pick it up, because the broker's gonna ask you. You know, your dispatch is gonna see how many hours you have left on your ELD, and they're gonna be able to coordinate on when you can pick your next load up and when you're gonna have to drop it off. So that may cut into your overall cycle, or your shift, your 14 hours. Or your 70 hours. So instead of you may get about 2-3 loads in a week. It depends on what happens. If you got a blown tire, you need to be down the road, and it takes the roadside assistance to come out there to get you up and running. It may take them about 8, 9, 10 hours. That's your whole day gone. So now they're gonna have to reschedule that load. And after they reschedule that load, owner operator, because, you know, a lot of times, you know, you got your own equipment, you got your own truck and trailer. Can't nobody come out there and swap trailers with you to get that load, and you take that empty. You just get paid for that miles. You got to wait. So a lot of things take into consideration. Now, here's a different scenario. Now, this is if you're living in a city. This is if you're living on grid, you know, type of scenario. Now, it may be a good thing if your expenses is not high. Let me give you an example. Say you're living off grid. Say you have land. All right. Say you have land, and say that you truck paid for, trailer paid for, things of that nature. Insurance, you know, is you got your insurance regardless. Say you either you have your DOT or you run it under someone else's DOT, MC, whatnot number, and you have land that's paid for. You have a cabin on your land. You don't have no utilities. Everything you do is ran off solar. You know, you have a rain catchment for as your water supply go. You have a wood stove for as your heat. You have a garden. You have chickens, goats, quail, turkeys. You know, far as your meat. You have your vegetable gardens out there. You have your fruit trees out there. So far as your food, that's taken care of. So that's a bill, a big heavy bill that's knocked off. As far as, you know, you don't have to worry about paying no mortgage. You don't have to pay about paying no rent. You don't have to worry about paying no water, electric, you know, heat bill, none of that. Cause you pay for all, you getting all that for free. The Most High has provided everything for you for free on that note. You see what I'm saying? So that's expenses that you don't have to worry about. Now, you being an owner operator, you get to choose your own lane and where you and how far you want to go out. So you could be wherever you living. You can go out and do a 200-mile radius and bring about say about $1,000 a week, $4,000 a month, and you don't have no expenses. You don't have no expenses other than fuel, other than your insurance. You got fuel, insurance, and your phone bill, internet, things of that nature, and you may be paying just a little bit out your pocket. Hold on, y'all. All right, I'm back, y'all. My apologies. So, as I was saying, you will have very few expenses other than the things that I mentioned. So, as an owner operator, you can make it. You can make it. Even with breakdowns and stuff like that. But you definitely have to, and let me say this, owner-operators, have you a maintenance account. Look at the most expensive thing on your truck. Make sure you have that money saved up. And on top of that, you know, if you don't have any bills other than your insurance, things of that nature, make sure you have, you know, a couple months, you know, a couple months of insurance and things, you know, your needs or your wants, you know, have that saved up if you have to, you know. So that's what I have to say in regards to being the owner operator today. You know, is it a good idea to be an owner operator? Would I be an owner operator again under them circumstances? Probably not. I've been through it. I've done that, you know, and I don't like to revisit that. I like to have less stress out here on these roads as possible. And if you're an owner operator and you got a nice truck, nice trailer, man, listen, you're going to be in a rude awakening, because when something go wrong south with the loads, with that dedicated lane that you're on, and a lot of these companies going belly up. If they go belly up, you're going belly up with them. You know what I mean? And you're going to have to eat the payments. You're going to have to eat the insurance. You're going to have to try to find another job. Because guess what? Payment's still coming in. They want that money. If not, they're going to come repo that truck and trailer. So I don't want them headaches. I don't want to have to worry about all that. You may get on with the company and they got a nice lane, dedicated lane, to and fro, boom, boom, boom. You know where you're going, right? Ain't far from the house. But something happens, what you gonna do as an owner operator? With a company driver, guess what? Turn the truck in, go work for another company. No insurance, no IFTA, no bobtail insurance, no cargo insurance, no truck insurance, none of that. So if you want to deal with them headaches, hey, deal with it. But you know what? I've done that, and I don't want to do it again. So that's my take on being an owner operator today. Is it worth it or not? My answer is not worth it. So, but again, if you're dealing with them type of scenarios that I mentioned as well, and you fit into them scenarios, then guess what? Give it a try. Don't go by what I say or anybody else in the social media has to say about is it worth it or not. You just glean from us and get the information that you need from us, and you pray on it, take it to the Most High, and allow Him to give you the final results. All right? Don't take nothing from man. Get out there and experience that life. You know what? And do the math on it. See if you can do it. If you can't do it within 30, 60 days, walk out of it. Make sure it's a walkout lease, that you won't be penalized for it, all right? So whatever you do, keep the Most High first. The Off-Grid Trucker. I love y'all. Be safe. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe, and share this amongst the other brothers and sisters in this trucking industry. Be safe. Till next time. Peace, blessings, and shalom, shalom.